The Australian public may have voted, but Julia Gillard and Tony Abbott are courting the 4 votes of the key independents who are yet to decide which side to support in a minority government. The 2 leaders stepped up their claims to the Prime Ministership today. Mr Abbott told members of his front bench to view themselves as a government in waiting, while Julia Gillard made a televised address promising both continuity and change. Stephanie Kennedy reports from Canberra.
A fog of political uncertainty shrouds the nation's capital. Below the cloud, it's a bit like Groundhog Day, with both leaders still in campaign mode. Tony Abbott's daily ritual continues, while Julia Gillard is still nursing babies, this time taking tips from her partner.
He'll be coming back to negotiations if I don't give him back to him.
While the negotiations with the crossbenchers continues behind closed doors, at the Press Club, the Prime Minister made a very public pitch, tailor-made for just 4.
What is needed more than anything now is continuity. Continuity, certainty and delivery. I believe that I can provide that stability, certainty and continuity. I have heard and absorbed the message from the Australian people delivered in this election.
At a shadow cabinet meeting, Tony Abbott's selling a different message.
We are no longer an opposition. We may very well be a government in waiting. It's clear that while we don't yet have a final result from the election, that the Labor Party has first lost its way and then in the election it lost its majority and it lost its legitimacy.
One of the key demands of the country independents' 7-point list is parliamentary reform. In response, the Prime Minister has produced her own list. She'll put an end to long-winded answers at question time, imposing a time limit. There'll be follow-up questions for the opposition. Individual MPs will have a greater say, and an independent, non-aligned speaker.
Improvements not just for this parliamentary term, but measures to permanently uplift our system of government as other reforms have done in generations past. This election is already memorable for its results. I want to make it memorable for its legacy for future parliaments and future generations.
Tony Abbott has come up with his own plan. He sent a letter to the Prime Minister proposing the establishment of a bi-partison committee on parliamentary reform. But Julia Gillard has dismissed that for now. Julia Gillard has also rejected the Electoral Commission's 2-party preferred count because it's excluded some seats. Labor had claimed the 2-party vote gave it the moral high ground to form government, but then it swung the coalition's way.
This is all a bit of a storm in a teacup anyway, because the thing that matters is the number of seats occupied by those supporting the government when the House of Representatives comes back. That's all that matters in the democracy. The Prime Minister insists her claim still stacks up.
This flurry of excitement, I think, is misunderstanding what is appearing on the AEC website now.
For the independents, debate over the count won't cloud their judgment.
My interest this week is to try and get stable government. And I go back to that broad, I know it's vague, but it's a broad statement about everything matters. So we're listening to everything, including phone calls, including people who are willing to put costings out or not, including people who make statements and then it seems to go to mush.
One of the independents acknowledges he won't get everything he wants. He has now received a detailed offer from the Prime Minister and he's waiting for the opposition leaders.
I haven't been offered anything by either of the leaders yet that will persuade me to support either of them.
As the nation waits, there's still no idea when a clearer picture will emerge. Stephanie Kennedy, Late Line.